The boys are back in town.
Are we?
Good eve. Good eve to you, Eric.
Yeah, it is evening.
Let me get the hat. We draw a topic out of the hat. I didn't feel it for a second, and there's a deep, gut-wrenching panic.
It's like when you can't find your wallet.
Is it my turn to draw, I think?
I think so.
Okay, here. I'll give it to you then. You can check it up, and then I'll draw. I think we've got it right every time, but I can't wait for the first time we get it wrong. Because so far we filmed these all in order, I think. So... I gotta fuck around a little bit, you know. Look at that.
I think this will be easier when we have less stuff in the hat.
I know. I think I mentioned that we should get it like 10 and then keep it around 10-ish.
This is my hat, and I have a small head.
Ooh. I got centrism in quotes.
What does that mean again?
So...
I don't remember.
Okay. So
I think I was a little drunk when we wrote these.
So the idea was not only do we debate the idea of actually centrism, but how people centrists get memed on, right? And
rightfully so.
Well, we'll get into it because some of the people that get called centrists, are they really centrists? You know what I mean?
I guess.
Let's get into it. So I think this is more of a discussion topic than a debate.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
I
won't veto it.
I'm just calling it.
Yeah, great.
Get my salute the sun, Elysian. The life water, though. I like the life water.
There's water. How do you not like water?
Do you notice any difference in any of the water brands that you drink? That are just normal water?
Except for Dasani, no. Dasani literally tastes like ass. I don't. What's up with that? Coke, get back to us on what's up with Dasani.
Put some, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if it's the source or whatever, or the bottle that they use, but it tastes like butt.
Dasani always gets memed on us, so it's got to be. There's something in it.
I don't know what it is.
You know how there's that weird gene that determines whether or not Brussels sprouts taste good or like ass to you? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, or how cilantro tastes.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a thing for that, but it's Dasani. The Dasani gene. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
Why does Dasani water taste so bad? So, let's say we're arguing about Dasani, and some guy comes in and he's like, Dasani water is not that bad, brother. And then we tear him apart for being a fucking centrist pig.
I don't think that's not centrism.
I know, but that's what people will get yelled at for.
I think that's a bad faith argument.
From me or from the people arguing?
You, because I've never seen somebody say that they have. This is my opinion. You're a centrist. It's always well, we should look at it from both sides. I've always seen it as the fence sitter people. You know what I mean?
Those people get memed on. That is true.
Rightfully so.
Understandable.
Right.
But I also this is the problem.
I've never encountered the centrism meme. Because every time I've seen somebody call out somebody for being a centrist, it's always, in my opinion, justified.
Or okay. Let's talk about centrism, right? Does centrism have a definition? Let's just get a definition. Let's talk about it broadly in general.
Centrism is a political outlook or specific position that involves acceptance or support of a balance of a degree of social equality and a degree of social hierarchy, while opposing political changes that would result in a significant shift of society strongly to either the left or the right. Oh, okay. How the hell are you a radical centrist?
So based on that definition, we know some, I have an idea of what a centrist is, right? But also, at the same time, let's say me and Erik are having a conversation, right?
Uh-huh.
And we're yes, I hate conservatives, but also the Democratic Party are vile scum. There are people who would call us centrists, fence-sitter, enlightened centrist people, because you don't pick a side. You don't pick a team.
Actually, I do. I'm a social democrat.
Well,
No, I'm a social libertarian, actually.
No, but like Republican or Democrat.
Fucking neither.
Okay, so you're a centrist now, and fuck you.
Fucking, I guess.
You've never seen that before?
No.
That's wild to me. People get shit on all the time for that. Constantly.
I don't hang out in like political forums.
That's probably for your fucking your well-being.
I mean, I don't know, probably.
So there's the idea of the centrist as someone who, I think the perception that people have like automatically is you think this person doesn't take a opinion on like any issue, right? Like they refuse to like own up to an opinion, or you know what I mean?
Right.
That's one idea of it. Whereas like I could potentially see somebody calling us that, even though it's not true, because we'll humor another side. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'll humor. I think it's important to humor the other side when you're having a debate in order to just like understand.
Isn't the quote like a mature mind is one that can entertain an idea but not accept it?
Yeah.
So
grabbing that quote in relation to centrism would have some people dogpiling on you.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
Dogpile all you want.
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't care about your like proscriptive nouns for me. I don't care.
I know it's a fucking meme. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. That's basically my point. But there's also the idea of centrism as like, which is I think more how most, if somebody calls them a centrist, what they calls themselves a centrist, probably what the camp they fall into is that they don't align completely with one side or the other on everything, right?
Right.
Which is I think that's how most people are, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just see like this idea that to me there's an element of there's certain people who if you're not like if you don't play ball hard enough for one of two like arbitrary political teams depending on which country you're in.
Yeah.
I just see text wall memes. Text wall centrist memes over here and I'm like, what the fuck?
Because I'm trying to like get an idea as to what the fuck you're talking about. Apparently people who supported Napoleon were considered far centrist.
Far centrists.
Does that mean they're like coming out of the political compass?
They're like ascended, they're grilling.
they're like on the Z-axis or some shit? What the fuck?
No, well, first of all, there's people, the Enlightened centrist meme, okay? Are you familiar with that? Anyway,
no?
that's like far off of what I'm saying right now anyway. Maybe
Okay.
I'll pull it up later if it's relevant. But seriously, like, do you understand what I'm saying where if you don't, like, let's say you have 8 out of 10 of your opinions are with the left-leaning party.
Okay.
And then 2 of your 10 opinions are with the right-leaning party.
Right. I don't think that makes you
I don't think
centrist.
it makes you a centrist either. I think the word like in many other words in modern political discourse is essentially meaningless.
Right.
Or it's got like extremely different meaning depending on who's using it. I've seen it before.
Right. No, I get it.
But like, I think there's an element of wanting to engage in like political tribalism.
Right.
That like is extremely distasteful to me.
Exactly.
Because I don't like political tribalism.
I don't like tribalism at all.
I know, but since we're in a relatively political topic, right?
Right.
But yes, I agree that like when it comes, if you fence sit on every issue, or what about the?
Well, nobody can figure out what the center actually is.
No, because it's 100% relative.
Right.
But at the same time, like let's say the idea of like nobody can be centrist or being centrist is bad is why you have some shit like the Democratic Party used to be like a lot of Christians were Democrats.
Right.
But then when you hit the 60s and 70s and like abortion became like a big hot button issue, well the Republican Party is the one who opposed like open, had all these anti-abortion proposals, right?
Right.
So, well, for a lot of religious people, they ascribe to the opinion that life begins at conception and all this other shit, right?
Right.
So, but more and more, you can't have, like, one or two opinions like that will decide for you.
Right.
Like, you just have one or two opinions, and then you just, like, you full in, like, jump on a team, you know what I mean? I just find that distasteful. I don't think not doing that makes you a centrist.
Right.
But I think that's kind of what part of the discourse has. I'd rather engage with people as individuals anyway. Let me look at this meme here. The centrist griller meme. What y'all talking about gender? I'm trying to grill.
Right.
You know, that shit.
Right.
Now, let me pull up Enlightened centrist. But, yeah, like, I find just...
I'm sorry.
If you're gonna look up the memes, you better save them so we can put them on screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Which is fine because I think I'll make the video funnier, so I don't care. But,
Right.
Yeah, I just don't. Anything that reinforces political tribalism just feels like bullshit to me. And here's what'll happen if you say what I just said, right? Well, I could potentially be criticized as like, well, I'm pretending that being like a far right bigot is the same as being like kind of on the left.
Oh, the horseshoe meme?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, can you stop with your centrist dog whistles over there?
Yeah, like.
Can we also? What the fuck? People are out here with his fascist dog whistles. Shut up. Stop with the dog whistling. It's stupid.
Okay, I'm going to read the Urban Dictionary definition of this. I'll put it on screen, too. An enlightened centrist / moderate is a nickname given to mock certain political commentators who call themselves centrist, when their rhetoric suggests otherwise. Unlike typical centrists who are more balanced with their views and oppose political extremes, enlightened centrists use their platform to almost exclusively attack the left while never attacking the right. They go to such lengths to defend any right-wing position that they even do dishonest research and present misinformation that serves as a right-wing viewpoint. They don't give the left any charitable interpretation of what they say and often strawman and gaslight the left, especially when the left is calling out alt-right propaganda. These types of centrists have also proven to be useful idiots for the alt-right, often jumping to the defense of the alt-right figures who spin any challenge or opposition to their rhetoric or punishment for their action. What's the difference between right and alt-right at this point? Somebody explain to me. I don't know what the difference is.
Alt-right are like openly racist and right is not, I guess. Alt-right is like the QAnon dudes and shit, right?
But not really, because alt-right's everybody who's not like... Alt-right is everybody, though. Well, because... Alt-right is like... If you watch 2 Joe Rogan videos in a row, you're on the alt-right pipeline and shit. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know. I honestly don't.
People overuse shit.
Well,
but anyway,
I think it's because people associated the alt-right with Richard Spencer.
Yes,
and so
he coined it, right?
I think so. So I think it's one of those things where it's an easy out to call somebody... Yeah. Because you can't just call people a Nazi.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, you can.
But you get, like, made fun of because, well, you just say everybody's a Nazi. So they started using alt-right because Richard Spencer said alt-right. And so it's associated with Richard Spencer, who is a Nazi. And... So now it's like a backhanded way of calling somebody a Nazi now.
Yes.
I guess. But, I mean, there's different levels to the alt-right. I mean, there's some people who are like, I guess you can also consider the alt-right as to be people who are like socially liberal but fiscally conservative. I guess that can be considered
Here's my problem
alt-right,
with the term alt-right.
Because it's so broad of a...
It's broad and vague, but I don't like... Okay, this is not always true, but in general, when we're not talking about, like, extremes, right?
Right.
Like, people who are, like, actually fascist, like, fuck you and shit, right? You're the worst type of person that exists. I don't like you. Kill yourself. The day of the rope is coming. But the day of the rope where we hang all fascists, by the way. Because... watch me say Day of the Rope, and they're like, oh, it's a KKK dog whistle or something. Isn't that who made that term?
No. Day of the Rope is the day in the Turner Diaries where all of the race traitors are hanged. So people like us, we would be technically hanged. We'd be hanged in the day of the rope. But because the only race traitor is the traitor to the human race.
Anyway, so I got our enlightened centrism up on, so now we're really in for some shit.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the enlightened centrist meme, I get it, right?
We're on some like galaxy brain type shit.
We're on some the enlightened making fun of people who claim to be centrist but are actually like just right wing, but they're scared to call themselves that. Like fuck, right? Understandable. But no, my problem with the term alt right, it generally is not that I think it's useless. And Richard Spencer coined it, so it's like a little of what I'm saying is not true. But I feel like most people who are classified as alt-right, it's not a term they adopt, right? Mm-hmm. It's like just something they're called.
Right.
When like
I think some people have like kind of steered into the skid on the whole alt-right thing.
Yeah, well, ideally, right, what I want is that people identify political terms are used as descriptors and not like judgment calls, right?
Right.
Because like the word fascist, right? Now the word fascist basically just means like you're doing some shit that like I don't like, right?
Right.
Like half of the time.
Right.
The reason it's gotten there is because the United States is basically more authoritarian right than it is anywhere else on the spectrum. So,
right.
Like, any, like, extreme right of that is closer to fascism than it is to, like, fucking anarchism or whatever, right?
Right.
So that's why. But now it's just, like, you'll have, like, the shit that's, of course, it's happened this year in the United States. You have riots and looting and protests, then riots and looting, or whatever, right?
Right.
And they're like, we're doing this to fight fascism. Like some of the people on the extreme will say, right? But then the other people are like, well, isn't it more fascist to like go out and harm people and their business? So like, and then it's nowadays everyone is just pointing at each other. It's like the Spider-Man meme.
Right.
It's like, I'm a fascist, you're a fascist. Like the word has lost all meaning because it's become like I guess fascism was always kind of a judgment call word though, right?
I think so. I don't know. I feel like the only people who are fascists are actual, like, fascists.
Yeah, well, that's who we should use the word on.
Right.
Right. Not like...
Just, like, also, stop calling me a communist. I'm not a communist.
No, you're either a full-born capitalist or a full-born communist. There's no difference between those. So, and if you think there is a world of difference. And if you're anywhere in the middle, you're a centrist, brother.
I guess. Because I remember the first time I said, oh, yeah, I support Bernie Sanders. My dad and mom looked at me and went, oh, so you're a communist, huh? I'm like, no. What? I'm like, Bernie Sanders is like the farthest thing from a communist. But go off, I guess.
It's just the problem with even talking about this is that like the fucking
what?
Just radical centrism is just funny to me.
I don't get it.
What was the definition of it again?
I don't think there was.
Radical centrist. Okay. All right. Let me just read it for a second, and then I'll cut it out front.
Real radical centrism is looting the home appliance section for that girl you've had your eye on. What? Radical alt-centrism?
I can't handle it.
There's so many...
I feel like these
they're
words...
all bullshit.
I feel like they're all like made up pretend.
Right. You know how, like, we're part of the alt-left or whatever?
Are we? What? I don't even know what the alt-left is.
I don't know. I think we're part of the alt-left.
What the fuck is the alt-left?
Because we don't support the Democratic Party, I think we're part of the alt-left.
But the alt-right supports Donald Trump, right?
Right.
But the Republican Party didn't support Donald Trump until they did.
Right.
What's alt-left? I've heard it before. I
don't know. I think we're part of alt-left, though.
We might be. I'm not saying we're not. Okay. So apparently, after the Unite the Right rally, which I think was the Charlottesville thing.
Okay.
Where that fucking alt-right, whatever the fuck guy ran over that chick with his car, right?
Right. And they had the tiki torches.
Yeah.
That shit was weird. What the fuck was with that?
Well, do you know the details of it?
No, and I don't think I want to.
I mean, here's the 30-second version.
Okay.
Is that there was a petition to take down a statue.
Right.
That I can't remember who it was in Charlottesville. I think it might be a Confederate statue. There was a counter group who went out to protest taking it down.
Okay.
And it just went from there, basically.
Gotcha.
That's basically what I understand.
Can we please tear down all the Confederate statues? Because they're all bullshit. All of them were built in the 1940s and shit. 1940s and 50s during Jim Crow, just to scare black people.
They were made to scare black people, and the Confederate Army was traitors to the United
literally
States.
Every Confederate should have been hanged for treason.
If anyone's a traitor, leaving your country makes you a traitor.
Exactly.
Seceding, right?
Right.
Anyway. But,
they're the real alt-rights.
After that, Trump stated that there was blame to both sides. Some of the counter-protesters were part of a very, very violent alt-left. Then later down it says, historian Timothy D. Snyder stated that alt-right is a term meant to provide a fresh label that would sound more attractive than Nazi, neo-Nazi, white supremacist, or white nationalist. With alt-left, it's a different story. There is no group that labels itself that way.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I feel like most of the people who call themselves, originally called themselves alt-right were definitely on some fucking, they were Richard Spencer, he's a white nationalist.
They're on some real white ethno-state type beat.
Yeah. But, I feel like its use has become too broad. Right? Like a guy who, doesn't care about politics that much, but also, so he didn't vote for Obama or whatever, and he supports, he misguidedly supports the NRA because he thinks guns are cool. That guy's not alt-right, you know what I mean?
No.
There's a little bit more, there's more of a fucking spectrum than, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't understand the concept of... I still don't understand how we would be considered centrists in, anything.
Well, reasonably we wouldn't.
Right.
But it's okay, so, if you're well, I don't want to vote for Joe Biden that much because he's, a weird sexual assaulter and, might have dementia.
Might?
Definitely has dementia. And...
He also picked a cop as his VP.
He picked a fucking cop as his VP. With a history of...
hiding evidence that could have freed people.
Well, and, giving people harsh sentences for marijuana and marijuana sentencings. Okay. But if you don't want to do that, then you're basically supporting Trump.
Right.
You have to pick one of those two, otherwise you're a centrist. And that basically makes you a fascist.
Yes, I guess.
Have you ever watched an episode of Joe Rogan? You are... now alt-right. That's how, apparently.
He's an alt-right dog whistler, right? Or something like that?
I don't know.
I guess? I don't know.
This is this weird phenomenon. This has nothing to do with anything, really. But, does it feel to you like dog whistle and, gaslight just came out of, the fucking ether within, 3 years ago? Within the last, 3 years? Nobody ever used them, now everyone uses them all the time, constantly.
Well, I feel like somebody read a psychology textbook and was like, oh, gaslighting? Everybody's gaslighting me. I saw a tweet the other day, it's can we popularize bringing back lying instead of gaslighting? Because
most of the time it is just lying.
Here's the thing. You know what gaslighting is? Gaslighting is saying somebody... So let's say, hey, Tyler, you're driving your car, right?
Yep.
and I'm like, hey, you're doing that wrong. You need to do it this way. So the next time we're driving together, you drive the way I told you, and I go, you're still doing it wrong. And then I explain to you exactly the same way that I told you before. And I just keep doing that. And I keep doing that. Gaslighting is making someone feel like they're going crazy.
Yes.
Lying to somebody is not gaslighting you. Tyler, if I tell, like, hey, do I look cool with my hair pulled back like that? I'd be like, sure, bro. He doesn't. But he's my friend. I'm gonna lie to him. That's not gaslighting him.
Fucking gaslighter, bro.
Yeah, I guess. The only gaslighter I care about is the one that lights my grill.
Fucking centrist. So, it's a frustrating phenomenon to me. The over-centrification.
I guess we're all in the center.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's definition is somebody's in the center.
Ideally, I like to treat people as individuals, right?
Right.
And then go from there.
Right.
Not see one sentence somebody has typed on Twitter and then place them in a political box based on, like, literally nothing.
Yeah, it's very hard for you to pin down... I guess it's very hard for me to pin down my actual political beliefs just by, like, some arbitrary label.
Well, that's why when people get assigned labels, it just feels like it makes less sense to me. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not fair.
It makes it more unclear because you don't
right.
know the level of sincere honesty that the person using it is describing.
And it's too easy to just, like, everyone I don't like is, like, centrist or...
Everyone I don't like is a fascist.
Right.
Not actual what annoys me more than that is right-wing people who call left-wing people fascists, because it's more false. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's more annoying to me. Let me be clear. That is worse.
I think people have confused fascism for authoritarianism.
I think that's true. I also think they've confused fascism with, like, just being, like a bigot.
Right.
Like, if someone is a bigot, that does not make them fascist.
Right.
Like, bigotry comes out of fascist, like... I mean, first of all, fascism is like a form of fucking... Technically a form of government, right? It's not an ideology. Right. As much as it is... I don't know. I feel like calling somebody a fascist should be, like, a powerful thing. Right?
Should actually make sense.
But, you know. But what else is a fucking 7-letter word that you can call somebody who's, like, kind of being discreetly racist on the internet, where, like, I guess just call them a bigot.
That's 5 words. That's 5 letters.
I know, it's less letters, so that's better.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, in my head, like, people are using fascism as a shorthand for, like you're a right-leaning asshole.
Right.
But that's not what fascism is. But if they're discreetly being racist, you just call them a bigot, but I guess, I don't know.
Racially dog whistling?
Like, we both understand that this shit's all subjective, right?
Right.
But it's also unfortunate.
It's all a fucking meme.
It's all a fucking meme, but it's also unfortunate because, like, it's so subjective that, like, people will willingly delude themselves either way, right? They'll tell themselves Joe Biden doesn't have dementia. You know what I mean? That's what those people do, man. The I don't like Joe Biden. I mean, I guess if you like Joe Biden, you like Joe Biden. I'm not saying that nobody likes Joe Biden, right? There's some people who actually just like Joe Biden. I believe it. People like us, who are in our position, who have decided to vote for Joe Biden, I have a hard time believing most of them don't feel similarly to we do. They're just like, I would rather have him than Donald Trump. So I'm gonna, like, pull the lever for Joe Biden, right?
Right.
But I just wish people would be more upfront about that.
Right.
You know, some people lie about it. But it's so subjective that, like, you have to bat for your side, right?
Right.
So whatever the narrative, whatever the fucking tribal narrative that your fucking news station has said that you have to fight for, that's the correct one.
Right.
It's just fucking goofy.
I'm voting third.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning. I don't know.
Who's the Green Party candidate?
I don't remember.
Because I'm sure as shit not voting for the Libertarian Party, dude.
It's a woman this time, I think.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Her last name's Jorgensen. I can't remember her first name, but it starts with J. Yeah, I don't know. The Libertarian Party's kind of goofy.
Yeah, that's a whole another video.
We don't have people who represent. That's the problem, man. It's, at the end of the day, it's the two-party meme.
Joe Jorgensen.
The two-party meme is the greatest meme that, like, makes all this shit happen, right?
Yeah, the founding fathers were like, hey, no political parties.
If we had a representative, like House of Representatives and Senate, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where, like...
Oh, it's Howie Hawkins.
I'm a member of the fucking eat hot dogs for lunch every day party, right? And I get 1% of the vote. I get 1 of 100 seats in the Senate. You know what I mean? Like representative parliament type shit.
Right.
That is... I don't know. You say that and people act like you're talking nonsense, but it's just like, that's the only thing that makes any sense.
Right. Well, how else will they wear their stupid elephant pin or their donkey shirt if we don't have two parties? How am I going to know who to hate? Who am I going to know who to make fun of?
You have a conversation with them and then you make fun of them after they say stupid bullshit.
Okay, so every time I have a bad habit of reading YouTube comment sections.
Yeah, YouTube comment sections might be worse than like Twitter.
Right.
I think they are.
Every time someone's like, I watched a lot of Karen videos lately, as one is to do. And like a bunch of them are like, she must have been a Democrat. Like what? What?
But then on the left-wing people watch her like, wow, she must be a fucking Trump head.
Right.
Like, I'm so confused.
I literally forgot who the dude was for the Green Party. I was going to Google him. I literally forgot.
Howie Henry or whatever. I got this fucking... I tweeted this fucking image from the Hunter S. Thompson Nixon book I just read.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fucking apt. So, I'm going to skip like 2/3 of it. But, how many more of these stinking double-downer sideshows will we have to go through before we can get ourselves straight enough to put together some kind of national election that will give me and the at least 20 million people I tend to agree with a chance to vote for something, instead of always being faced with that odd familiar choice between the lesser of two evils? The fact that I'm citing this, to some people, makes me a centrist, right? I have been through 3 presidential elections now, but it's been 12 years since I could look at a ballot and see a name I wanted to vote for. In 1964, I refused to vote at all, and in 68, I spent half a morning in the county courthouse getting in an absentee ballot so I could vote out of spite for Dick Gregory. Now with another one of these big bogus showdowns looming down on us, I can already pick up the stench of another bummer. I understand, along with a lot of people, that the big thing this year is beating Nixon. But that was also the big thing, as I can recall, 12 years ago in 1960. And as far as I can tell, we've gone from bad to worse to rotten since then, and the outlook is more of the same. The worst thing of all is that the real truth of it, and we could probably do a fucking 4-hour video about the two-party system, but the truth of it is that a two-party system represents a very small amount of people. Because most people don't agree with everything like a fucking Republican agrees with or everything a Democrat agrees with, right?
Right.
Most people actually have, like, some variety of beliefs that's reinforced by, like, some aspect of, like, the shit that's happened to them in their life and their family and their friends. And, nobody has any form of, like, you just, like, bite the bullet and pick one.
Yeah, so I'm going to vote for Howie Hawkins.
Yeah? Tell me about Howie Hawkins.
So he's a retired Teamster, so he's, like, pro-union. So he was officially chosen as Green Party's nominee for the 2020 election, His platform included the Green New Deal, funded in part by cuts to military spending. About fucking time.
Yeah.
Medicare for all, a federal jobs guarantee, which I don't know what that means. And a $20 minimum wage and a guaranteed minimum income. So basically, like, most of the shit that I want, he supports. So, fuck it, I'm gonna vote for him.
But he's not Bernie Sanders, so I've never seen him be called a fucking communist dictator.
He literally believes in, so it says up here, let me see, in 1993, Hawkins favored anarcho-communism as well as libertarian municipalism.
Based.
And when I tried to search what libertarian municipalism means, I got the Wikipedia page for communalism. I thought it said communism. Sorry. I'm a Wikipedia dog whistler.
Yeah, how dare you.
I kind of like the term now. It's kind of funny to me.
It is funny.
Anyway, everyone's a dog whistler.
I mean, like, okay, so as terms, those terms are, like, not useless, right? It's just that they're overused.
Yeah.
It makes people sound smart when they call something a dog whistle.
Right.
Like, even when it's obvious. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of bad faith bullshit.
Right.
Bad faith bullshit, and the fact that the two-party system doesn't represent anybody. So does that make us centrist because we don't like two-party system? I don't fucking think so. Right?
Two parties a meme.
It's a fucking meme. I just want to have, like, somebody that, like, I like, you know?
Right.
I mean, I like Howie Hawkins, apparently. Howie Hawkins seems pretty sick.
He's gonna have 2 votes from our red state. There's gonna be 2
Don't even get me fucking started on winner takes all states. Jesus.
It's just, well, I mean, Indiana always votes like red.
I know. I just don't like winner take all.
I don't know what that means, but
where if you get 51% of the fucking, it's not actually 51% of the vote because there's like districts and shit. But basically, if you get 51% of the vote, if Donald Trump gets 51% of the vote in Indiana,
okay,
and Joe Biden gets 49%,
right,
Donald Trump gets every delegate from Indiana.
Gotcha.
Dumb, stupid, and dumb. I don't like it.
The Electoral College is stupid and dumb, and I don't like it.
Yeah, but like 2/3 of the Electoral College problem, I mean, or maybe like half, I don't know. Some large amount of the Electoral College problem is winner take all states.
Right.
It only benefits everyone. If 51% of Californians vote for Joe Biden and 49% of them vote for Trump, the 49%, like, they're getting shit on.
Right.
It's unreasonable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And okay,
it gives people.
Hold on a second. Can we stop saying about how the Electoral College makes it fair for the center states to say that, oh, well, it evens it out because that way not every election is run by New York and California. Well, here's the thing. If we got rid of the Electoral College, everybody's vote would count as one. So don't get mad because more people are more liberal than you are, and we would vote for more liberal presidents probably.
Yes.
Don't get mad that just because you live in dipshit Arkansas, these coastal elites. Fucking stop with the coastal elite shit too. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, yeah, the way the Electoral College works is it arbitrarily makes some people's votes worth more than others.
Right.
If you live in Montana, your vote is worth more than, like, 1 million people from fucking California.
Right. And that's why they like the Electoral College. Yes. Because if we got rid of the Electoral College tomorrow and made it just like direct, democratically elected presidents, right? I guarantee we would almost probably never have another Republican president.
No. The political part...
Because the people in these, like, shitty fucking flyover states like Kansas and Nebraska, they're mad because, here's an idea. Why don't you come to the 21st century with the rest of us? It's not the 1950s anymore. If more people support a liberal president, we should have a liberal president. It's called the face of the majority. and there's still like a minority leader in the Congress and everything. So your interests are still being represented because everybody has 2 senators. So all these states that have like fucking nobody in their state, like Montana and Wyoming, they still have 2 senators and like what? 1 representative or some shit?
Yeah.
So your interests aren't really well represented anyway. You just have more power when you vote.
Yeah, your vote is arbitrarily worth
And they're all fucking boomers out there, so they vote. They have the fucking time to vote. That's another thing.
Why is voting?
Okay, literally the vote, like, election, it should not be election day. It should be fucking election week. Like, shit. I got 2 days off in a week. If I could just go, and I understand, like, your employer has to give you time to vote. Like, this shit's inconvenient because you got a fucking line.
Your employer has to do a lot of things
that they don't necessarily do.
Yeah.
There's
and by has to means in order for them to not get away with it, you have to like sue the company.
Right.
So they can. It's like punishable by fine. Legal if you're rich.
Right. So the best thing for you to do is go vote on your business lunch, which is what, half an hour? Oh, looks like everybody else had the same idea. So now you gotta wait in fucking line. If that shit was like spread out over a week, I could like, go vote.
And the results just have to be secret until the end.
Right.
Mainly. Right. Yeah.
It's dumb. Or make it like 2 or 3 days. Just make it
a national holiday, like every other. Half of the problems in the United States are just like every other industrialized country on the planet has like figured shit out and is not like ass backwards, and we just like don't copy them.
Right. Well, we're the best country. Everybody's supposed to copy us. Don't get me wrong. I agree with some forms of American exceptionalism. Just we need to take the blinders off a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm just saying.
Politics just makes me sad.
Pretty much.
It's just a drain. Man.
Yeah, that's why I don't really worry about it too much.
Well, Eric, you're in a privileged position where you don't have to worry about it. There's other people who are dying every day.
I understand that, and I support policies that would help them. But some of those people who are in those positions don't support those policies. So, just like the poor white people
have been hoodwinked.
Yeah, they've been hoodwinked. Literally, they've been bamboozled. Dusseldorfed, if you will.
They've been fucking, yeah.
Literally, the wool has been pulled so far over their eyes, they don't know anymore.
Yeah, they become sheep.
Well, like, calling us sheep.
Yeah.
They're like, Trump's gonna save us. And then he did nothing for them, and they're like, well, Trump's gonna save us this time.
If it weren't for the damn Democrats, he would have been able to save us.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there's always every election has the same character archetypes. There's always the savior figure. Right. The underdog savior figure who's gonna make it's make America great again this time. It's change. It's hope. It's fucking make America great. It's something's wrong and we have to fix it.
Right.
Well, something's been wrong every 4 years for the past fucking 250.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I
don't even know. This wasn't even about centrism.
I mean, it was at first.
Yeah. It's about like bad faith politics now.
No, it's about how we're centrists now. Yeah,
we're yeah.
Everything we've said was made us centrists.
Yeah, like if someone's like, Trump is worse than Hitler, and I'm like, well, I don't really know about that.
Right.
Then we're centrists.
Yes. Or how Bernie Sanders is not Joseph Stalin. That makes us a centrist.
That's people less left than us would call us a centrist.
Really?
Yeah, they'd be
less left or more left?
Less libertarian left. Maybe a
more
little more off left.
Gotcha.
Nobody wants to be off left, apparently, except like the hardcore fucking communist guys, right? But like, hey,
because authoritarian sounds so scary.
I know. Like
it's scary.
Like
it's gross.
Like if you honestly want the government to like if hate speech, you deserve to be put in jail. Nobody should have guns. You're more authoritarian than you are libertarian.
Right.
You're more off left than you are. I mean, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with any political position. You know what I mean? Like anywhere on the fucking compass necessarily. You know what I mean?
Right. There's nothing inherently wrong with ideas.
No, it's just I don't know.
It's the way that you express them and how you want to act upon them.
At the end of the day, I'd rather fucking treat people as individuals.
Right.
And no, I don't want to enable fucking assholes and bigots and fucking big corporation cocksuckers to fucking run everything just because I also don't like the fucking Democratic Party.
Right.
They're all way too right for me.
Right. We shouldn't have to choose between that.
Yeah.
Because literally to us, it's the choice of right or slightly less right.
Yeah. It's like fucking, like, from a certain point of view, like, the Democrats are just, like, posturing to be left.
Right.
And that's more annoying to some people. You know what I mean?
To me, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it is more annoying, yes. Like, the Democratic debates are more annoying than the fucking Republican debates. Like in 2016? Yeah. Easily the Democratic debates were way more annoying. Especially this year. They were bad this year, man.
I don't remember watching
them. I didn't even watch all of any of them. I watched like 15 minutes of each one. And it was constantly fucking... It was just everyone arguing about how much more they hated Trump than each other.
Right, until they start talking to Bernie, he's starting to like talk about
he wants to like
policy.
Fight. Yeah, he wants to fight for like policy. Ideas that like are important to him.
And they're like, "Shut up, Boomer!
You've been in politics so long. Why didn't you get anything done?" People don't understand how politics works.
I know. Listen, like, do you know they had more failed Republican candidates from 2016 speaking at the DNC than they had, like, failed Democratic
you know, Tulsi Gabbard was the only person in the history of the DNC to win delegates and not be invited to speak?
Right. Wait, was Michael Bloomberg there?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the entire thing.
I don't know if he was there. Because he won, American Samoa?
Yeah. He spent $500 million to win American Samoa.
That was
it. It was like a 5-week campaign. He was in like 2 debates.
He spent $100 million per week?
That's what I said in that other video. He spent $500 million. He could give every single individual person in the United States $1 million. Still have only spent 2/3 as much as he spent. You're not a centrist if you realize that the fucking vampire goblin fucking billionaire sitting on top of the U.S. Treasury are the actual people who are fucking insipid assholes. And yeah, Donald Trump's a billionaire, so fucking more than other
supposed billionaire.
Yeah. I don't know.
Haven't seen them tax papers yet.
If someone has a right-wing opinion, I don't automatically hate that person.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
That's just asinine.
I don't hate anybody.
Well, yeah, this is true.
Right?
I mean, I don't hate anybody. Well, I don't really hate anybody at all, but like, there's people I strongly dislike based on shit, right?
Right.
But it's not based on like, some one arbitrary thing.
Listen, I disagree with Richard Spencer. Like, fundamentally disagree with everything he has to say, but I don't want to see him dead. Like, he's still a human being.
Yeah. We do like to dehumanize.
Right.
I mean, bigoted people do that more than anybody else, but...
Right.
I don't know. This video feels the most like we're just like rambling, but at the same time it's like, it feels good to like just kind of let it out sometimes.
Right. I don't know that much about centrism, sorry. I'm not out here reading about it.
I don't read about it, I just see the fucking discourse. Where
I don't even see that, so...
It's just... I don't know. I don't have a grand statement besides politics is the way where the political conversation has ended up has just gotten worse and worse over like 60 and 70 years. And it's just like insane.
I think it started with McCarthy.
It's just not good.
Right. People now would call FDR a centrist.
Would they?
I think so.
Maybe. It's hot in here too. That makes it hard to like focus in.
I don't think it's that hot.
But we don't have the with our current lighting setup. We don't have the hot lights pointed right at us, so that's working out in our favor.
True.
Anyway, if politics frustrates you, comment down below.
Yeah, or call us centrists.
Yeah, call us whatever.
Dirty dog centrists.
Call us whatever you were. Dog whistlers. I need to have a dog.
We're cat whistlers.
I have a cat. I'm a cat whistler. I don't know. It's just I can't pin it down. It's too complicatedly frustrating to pin down on one statement. Even though I've been trying to, but it sucks. I want it to be better. I don't think it's going to get better. George Carlin said we're circling the drain, and I think I believe him. So I'm kind of like watching with.
I don't know. I'm kind of an idealist sometimes. So
inside the core of every cynic is a I don't even know what I'm fucking saying. In the core of every cynic is a disappointed idealist, Eric. There's truth to that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anyway, next time on Master Debaters.